Welcome back to the Dr. Des Show. I'm Dr. Des, and today, guys, we got to talk about internship applications. So these are for my recent graduates, my current college students, and even some of my people who are just applying to jobs. So we're going to talk about some different strategies because, listen, me and my team, we just reviewed over 500 internship applications for the Public Health Club. And when I tell y'all, we've seen so many of the same issues and problems. And I felt like, it wasn't that hard to rise to the top in the applications, but a lot of people just didn't. And we're going to go over a lot of the reasons why. So if you did apply to our internships, just know that, we do thank you for your application. But the application has closed and we have selected our interns for 2025, for our fall 2025 internship. But before we get started, go ahead, like and subscribe to this podcast. Make sure you share with a friend. If you find any value in this, drop it in the group chat and just, share it, share the wealth and let people know. But all right, guys, the first thing, and this goes for any and all job applications, internship applications, fellowship, whatever you're trying to apply for, typos and grammar. There were so many people who just had all of these typos. And if we have over 500 applicants, you're just going to get thrown out for anything at this point. Like, we got to narrow it down some kind of way, right? So if you got all these typos in there, all right, you probably go on the reject pile. And that is what a lot of companies do. If they have, think about it, this was an unpaid internship, you got free membership for the Public Health Club for a year, but essentially it was unpaid. And if I had 500 applicants for an unpaid internship, imagine how many applicants these jobs get for their internships, right? Or not even internships, for their jobs, right? Imagine. And if they're going through thousands of applications, it's probably going to grammar, typos, they're going to get you thrown out every time. Use Grammarly, use spell check on Microsoft Word, put it through ChatGPT, something to, check for typos and check for grammar. All right. You have to do this. And it's a step that you just don't need to skip. It's simple, right? But a lot of people, you would be surprised by how many typos that we've seen, that we went through and everything like that, right? And then also just the one sentence, the one-liners. So we had in our application, we had about maybe like 4 questions, right, that you had to answer in addition to submitting your resume. Now, within these 4 questions, we're asking you to basically tell us why you want this internship and how this aligns with what you want to do, how this aligns with your experience, yada, yada, yada. Some people put one sentence in, and it was not a compelling sentence. It wasn't a good sentence. It was just one sentence. And it was like, oh, okay, next. Simple as that, right? If you really want an internship or a job, take some time and actually explain how your skills align with that role, right? I always tell people, when you are applying for a job, you're applying for anything. They want to know how your skills can benefit them. They don't need your whole life story in a paragraph. They need to know what skills that you have that they can take and utilize to get the job done, okay? So it is your job to say, okay, I know that they want X, Y, and Z. Let me pull all of my skills from X, Y, and Z and showcase them. Not all of my other skills, not my A, B, C, D, E, F, G skills, my X, Y, Z skills I need to pull and show them this is why I deserve this opportunity, okay? Because in that same iteration of one-liners, too much fluff is just too much. Because at the end of the day, me and my team did not have an applicant tracking system. We didn't have a computer scanning resumes and applications first to get to us. So no, we reviewed all them resumes. Trust me, I read through so many of those resumes and applications. And after a certain amount, after probably about number 90, I got really good at skimming, right? And I was skimming for keywords that stood out that, were in alignment with what I wanted for that particular internship role. I skimmed for, making sure like, oh, you knew about the role and what type of role it was going to be and what type of things you would be doing. Because there were people who, you may apply to be an operations and systems intern, but you don't even really know what operations and systems mean. So can't do nothing with that. I'm gonna put you in the reject pile. But That's number one, right? Number two, we know you use ChatGPT. It is fine to use AI in helping with your resume, your cover letter, your application answers. It is completely fine, okay? However, the problem came about when people would still include the prompts that ChatGPT gave them in the application. Okay, so you know how it'll give you the answers and that you want, and then it'll be like, hey, if you would like me to give you X, Y, and Z, let me know. I can give you X, Y, and Z additional information. Y'all included that in your answer, so it was rejected. So, attention to detail, guys. That was one of the things I was just like, okay, y'all, you ain't even really try. Like, come on. It's fine if you have the little M dash in there that everybody's talking about. That's fine. I don't care about that. That's proper grammar at the end of the day. But yeah. And also make ChatGPT sound like you, okay? ChatGPT, and we have said this time and time again, ChatGPT is only as smart as the person using it. It will give you lies. It will give you answers that are not true. Like if you type in operations and systems intern, whatever, it can give you 20 different answers as to what this operations systems intern will be doing. That's why you got to read the job description, right? So there are so many things that ChatGPT is amazing for, but you have to be the approver, the overseer. You have to incorporate some of your language in there. You have to make sure it doesn't sound too generic as well. One of the things that I always love to do with ChatGPT, like you will find me utilizing that voice note feature in ChatGPT, that little microphone near the little thing where you type in your answers, and me and ChatGPT, we talk, we have conversations. Like if it gives me an answer, literally, I am revising that answer with ChatGPT like 5 times, and I'm like, I like that, but I need it to sound more like this, or I need it to include this. I need it to include that. That is how you properly use ChatGPT, right? Like you're going to continue to give it that information, but at the end of the day, you have to train it. You have to train the AI to get your voice, to get down what you want. And that is a whole nother, we may do an episode on that, like ChatGPT, training ChatGPT, doing all of that to help you guys with applying to roles and stuff. But yeah, guys, do it. And also, if you're in the Public Health Club, for the month of August, our free resource is actually a ChatGPT guide to how to build your resume. So if you're in the club, go ahead and download that. It does go away at the end of August, so I'm not sure exactly when this episode will release, but as soon as it releases, if it's still August, go ahead and download it, okay? But yeah, guys, the third thing is too many priority areas and not enough focus. So within our internship application, there were 3 different internship areas that you could choose from to do. Majority of you all picked all 3, or you picked 2 out of the 3, or whatever. Some picked 1, but it's fine if you pick more than 1. However, you have to make compelling statements or arguments for those. Some of y'all picked all 3, and then literally in your application answer choices or answer responses, you said, I want this particular role, but the most, but I don't mind this. What you mean you don't mind? Like, I need to know like exactly what you want. You have to be strategic in what you're applying for. Like if I'm reviewing your applications for operations and systems, then I need to clearly see how that aligns. I don't need to see all this other stuff about how you're saying, oh, but I like this better, or I'm better at this, or I really want to do this. And then you give me one line for the other one, right? You're definitely not getting the other one, but also it confuses a lot of times the reviewer, right? So honestly, for me, that was a lesson learned with even doing applications like that. So I felt like it would streamline the process for us. However, I felt like, next time what we'll do is separate applications for each area. And that may help some people because you probably don't want to have to fill out 3 separate applications. Some people will, but you may not. But if a job application is asking you for, a certain, do you want this, or this? Be strategic in what you choose and how you really do that information and get it out there. Like I said, if they, you see in the job description, they want X, Y, and Z, you really need to say, here is how I do X, Y, and Z, my experience with X, Y, and Z. So many of you all gave me your entire life story. You gave me all of the skills that you have that don't even align with what we wanted. And it was like, wow, you have amazing, amazing skills, but I can't use them. It's not going to help me in what we need for this particular role, okay? So that is one of the things, like be strategic and be focused, okay? Number 4, don't lie. We caught a lot of y'all in some lies. I ain't gonna lie to you. There was a little box at the end that said, let us know, are you a member of the public health club? Check yes or check no. We did weigh them a little bit differently because we were like, all right, we are going to give a little bit more priority to our members. Some of y'all, we actually pulled 4 interviews and we were like, okay, this is how we want to interview. Their application was amazing. And then I was like, all right, verify. Actually, no, one of my team members, she actually came back and she said, I pulled them and I really liked them, but they lied about being a member of the club. I went and searched for their name and they're not in there, nor have they ever been in there. And I said, oh, dang, we need to go back and check all of them then. We checked and we definitely threw out a lot of people that were going to get interviews, and you probably would have still got an interview if you had checked no. Don't lie, okay, guys? Like, just, it's going to come up. And now it's like, I remember you as the liar, okay? Don't do that, all right? It's just, character matters, integrity matters, and if your application is really good, which a lot of them that we've seen that they lied about being members, they were really good, but you lied about that, and we just can't have that on our team. You know, we operate out of honesty, out of integrity, out of trust. We want you to grow in the different fields. Don't do that. And then number 5, a lot of y'all did not do your research on, a lot of y'all didn't even know what the public health club was. Y'all made up something. I was like, what organization they talking about in this? Because that ain't what we do inside the club. Like, did you even go to our website and read the website? Like, you could have literally Googled public health club. And I think the public health club is one of the first or second ones that pop up on Google. And you could have got a lot of information about what we do. Honestly, so many people have been inside the public health club, have attended our events, reached out to a friend and ask questions about what we do in there. There was a 7-day free there's a 7-day free trial to join the club. You could have signed up for 7 days and got in there and learned, like, okay, they do this in here, they got this in here. Okay. But some of y'all were just like, this goes to another thing. Some of y'all were telling me your exact public health skills. Like, you were telling me like the public healthy side of it versus the actual, what we do in the club is career development, helping you develop your business and things like that. So you were telling me more so, oh, I have epidemiology skills, or, oh, I have health education skills, which is great, right? But we are a career and consulting, business development type of organization for public health professionals. It's not what we do. We don't do the public health education, right? So it's a difference. So know the organizations that you're applying to. Do a little bit of research. Especially, we even had, some people that did interviews. And I could tell in the interview, and Lord forgive me, because I am the worst with hiding my face. So after certain interviews, one of my team members was like, Des, you gotta work on this face. And I said, I did my best. This is why I don't belong in the corporate world no more. Like, I don't know if I can do a corporate job, because at the meetings, when y'all come and y'all know what y'all talking about, I'm just like, why are we here? Like, we need to just take a break and go read the stuff, and then we can come back. That's all you gotta do. But we had people in interviews who still didn't know what the public health club was. Like, you got a whole interview. You had time to prepare for the interview. And we're asking you questions about why you want to be, an intern with us. And your answers, like, you're trying to get skills that don't exist, that we don't even talk about in the club. Like, you're trying to do things that we don't do in the public health club. So you have to do your research on the organizations that you're applying to. You're going to go into it winging it. And listen, I know some people, y'all could be like me, where y'all are talkers, y'all are yappers. Y'all can literally talk your way out of a paper bag, right? But at the end of the day, that does not replace that knowledge, that research that you've done on the organization for you to actually be strategic. Listen, I can do some BS, right? I can talk some BS in interviews or wherever, but a BSer recognizes a BSer. I ain't just let y'all know. Like, I can tell when you're talking around something and you don't really know, because I'm going to write down on my paper, doesn't know what they're talking about. Because, like, okay, it sounded good, but was it really relevant to what we wanted? No. And that is the thing. You have to make sure that you're doing your research on these organizations and you're coming in ready, okay? Like, don't do it to yourself. Don't set yourself up like that, okay? Also, next, we got a lot of points today, but it was a lot in reviewing. We learned a lot about what, students need in, just reviewing all of those applications. The next thing is check your email. Guys, check your email. Seriously. Like, if you apply for a role, check your emails. Please do that, because it was people we reached out to for interviews that never responded back. Like, and I know they were interested, but I'm not about to go out of my way to like pull, whatever, and, to get you in there. Check your spam, check the junk email. Make a habit of checking that, especially when you are actively applying to roles, to fellowships, to all these different things. Because I guarantee you, and some of y'all might be listening to this now, and then y'all go check y'all emails like, oh, Dr. Des, I had an interview. Can I email you and can I get... No, I'm sorry, but we'll have them open again next time, and I hope you apply again. But yeah, check your emails, guys. Because there was a lot of people we emailed and no response. So do that, okay? Next, when it comes to the interviews, show up on time. Show up on time, guys, because timeliness is a must. Interviews that we had were only 30 minutes because we don't need an hour to talk to you. We only need 30 minutes to really understand who you are, what you want to do, what you're about, your skills, and your different things like that. We had people that came and they were late. They missed the interview. Like, they were, over 5 minutes late. Interview's over at that point. Like, no email, no nothing. Like, and if you know you're going to be late, if something happened, things happen, of course. Send an email, send a note. Like, let them know, hey, this is going on right now. I believe I may be about 5 minutes late to the interview. I'm really sorry about it. X, Y, and Z happened. I got caught into this last minute meeting. I had to speed in traffic to do whatever. It's fine. Things happen. We understand that. But also, I know that one of the major things that I respect about people is their time. Like, I want people to respect my time, and I want to respect your time. So if you're showing up late to meetings, you're, doing all of these different things. Like, we all got things going on in our lives. Just let people know. Just be transparent, be honest, be open. And that is for all my newbies out there, my just graduates, all of y'all. Just let people know. Be transparent. It's life. Life happens, okay? And it is okay. Next. I think we're on number 8 now, I think. Guys, there was a box on the application that asked you all to upload any additional documents, okay? Half of y'all did not upload any additional documents. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to. If you have a very strong application, hey, that's fine. But many of y'all did not have a very strong application. Some of y'all did, but many of y'all did not. If they give you a chance to upload additional documents and it's optional, always take that opportunity. Here is some of the documents that I've seen that I'm like, okay, don't upload that. Number 1, transcripts. I don't need to know your grades. Did you graduate or not? That's all I need to know. Like, that's literally all jobs really want to know. Did you graduate or not? They don't need to know that you got a 3.0. Like, honestly, a lot of times now, and especially now, employers know that 4.0 GPAs, they don't always translate to the best workers. 3.0 GPAs, they don't always translate to the best workers either. 2.6s might. Listen, you never know. But at the end of the day, they just need to know, hey, you got your degree. So if you're uploading your transcript and it's like, okay, this is great, but I already see that you got your degree on your resume, on your LinkedIn. That's another thing. We did check y'all LinkedIns too. So if you applied, even though you didn't submit your LinkedIn, we looked you up. All right. So that is one of the things to always remember too. Your LinkedIn, we do look you up. And employers, recruiters, they do look you up. We actually just did a recruiting session in the public health club. So we had a public health recruiter come and do an entire workshop, entire session with us on things that she looks for. She does look at LinkedIn's frequently, okay? But I say that to say, don't upload your transcript. Some people included cover letters. Love that. Love that it was a cover letter. However, a lot of them were very generic. A lot of them were very, very generic on, yeah. I mean, you could do a generic cover letter if you want to, but what is it going to add? Is it going to add any value? One of the things I would recommend, if you're going to do a cover letter, make sure that they clearly see how your experience aligns with what they want. Employers do not care what you want. And it's just like you see a lot of, oh, I would really love this opportunity because X, Y, and Z. This will help me in my career. This will help me. That's great. But how does this apply to what we need for you to do, right? Of course, an internship is give and take. Internship, you should always be getting experience to help you excel in your career. We know that. That's a given. I'm giving you that. I need to know that you are committed to this, even though, like I said, it's an internship. So you may not have had a whole lot of like experience in the area, which was fine. We didn't need people with a whole lot of experience. We needed people with interest, with, understanding what that area is. Maybe you've taken a few classes on it. Maybe you've done some things in it. You know exactly kind of what you want to do. You need to have a plan, okay? But yeah, so you can do a cover letter. This is what I would recommend you to upload: samples of your work or a digital portfolio. Now, some people uploaded samples of their work. They may have uploaded writing samples. Writing samples honestly didn't really help me with what we wanted as far as interns, okay? Because you have to really think about, is this information that I'm uploading really relevant to the position, okay? In the Public Health Club, we have a digital portfolio workshop. If you're a recent grad, mid-career, senior career, consultant, entrepreneur, we covered all the things in that digital portfolio workshop. Join the club, take the workshop, learn what kind of materials you should actually be uploading in that area, all right? Because that is honestly what got some people the interview. Their additional documents that they uploaded. That may have been like, what got certain people the role over other people because they had that, okay? So it's just a lot of things, right, that we have touched on, that we've covered today, that honestly, guys, like, you have to take into account when you're applying for anything. The job market, the internship market is so competitive right now, especially for my public health professionals. So you need to make sure that you come into it prepared. There's so many students that get on the job market and you're not sure about what you want to do or where you want to go. You don't know what your next step should be, your next move should be. And it can be overwhelming. It can be so much. But one thing I want you to know is that you have support. You have a team here. If you're in the Public Health Club, do those workshops. Come to our live events, okay? Because those are going to be what helps you get so much ahead of others, okay? In reviewing those applications, over 500 applications, it was so clear that we need more preparation on how to apply to roles, how to get out into the corporate world, how to really get noticed by jobs, all right? And that is one of the things that we do inside the club, that we're going to continue to do, that we're even going to beef up even more, because I've seen this and I'm like, man, like, we need to do more to educate everyone about these things that we have that's out there in the career world right now. But all right, guys, this was all about applying to internships and even applying to jobs too. So hopefully you're able to get something out of this. You're able to take something away. You're able to use this. If this episode resonated with you, please comment below. Please share this episode with a friend. I love to keep doing these and everything, but I need to know, do y'all like this content? How is it going for you guys? Share it in the comments. Let me know. Message me on Instagram or on LinkedIn too, and let me know. But all right, guys, I will see you all next time. Bye.